Hello and welcome everyone to a new video on our YouTube channel. So in today's video we're going to be rebuilding a power steering pump on this 2008 Honda Accord, so stick around. The car is losing a lot of power steering fluid, and after doing some inspection we found out that the power steering pump itself is leaking from its seals. And as you can see here on the inlet tube, we can see that there's a leak that's forming on the bottom side. There's a seal on this plastic fitting that needs to be replaced, and we're gonna check for cracks in the fitting. And if we look closely under the pulley itself, there's a leak forming from the main seal. We're gonna have to remove the power steering pump and rebuild it outside. Here is the seal of the plastic fitting that needs to be replaced. So now we remove these two 10mm bolts to remove the engine cover and expose the power steering pump. There are two 14mm bolts holding the power steering pump, one on the top side near the valve cover and one on the bottom side under the pulley. We also have the high pressure line and the inlet tube. Now we're going to remove the serpentine belt. If you look closely, here is the tensioner. Using a 14mm wrench, we're going to untension the belt and slip it off the pulley. Now we're going to remove the high pressure line bolts, two 10mm bolts holding it on. Now we're going to crack loose the 12mm bolt that we can reach of the power steering pump. Now it's time to remove the two 14mm bolts that hold the power steering pump on. And just like that, we can remove the power steering pump. Now we're gonna drain the leftover oil out of it. We're gonna remove the four 12mm bolts from the back side to open the power steering pump. Now we're gonna remove the seal and the big O-ring that sits between the housings. There's a C-clip holding on the shaft, so we need to remove it in order to remove the shaft. After removing the shaft, we can remove the rotor, but make sure you pay attention to the fins. So now that you remove the moving parts, we can flip the power steering pump the right side up and remove the seal. Using a screwdriver, we're going to pop the seal out. Now it's time to clean everything up. And here we have all the seals that we need to replace. We have the new seals side by side with the old ones. Now we're going to start installing the seal. We're going to use a large socket that fits the outside diameter of the seal and tap it in place. Now we're going to install the shaft back in place. Make sure you put some oil on it to lube it and to protect the new seal. And just like that, it slides in place. Now we're going to install the rotor in the same way that we removed it. If one of the fins pops out like that, don't worry, just push it in place. Make sure you stay organized and never lose any of the fins. Now it's time to reinstall the C-clip. And right here it's the channel where the two seals sit in. We're gonna put some oil to protect the seals from tearing up when torquing it down. Now we're gonna install the new big O-ring. Now we're gonna reinstall the backing plate and torque the pump down. Now it's time to reinstall the power steering pump back in place. We're gonna set it in and put the two 14mm bolts that hold it on. Now we're gonna loosen the tensioner and put the serpentine belt back on. We're also going to replace the O-ring on the plastic inlet fitting. We're going to lube it up and push it in place. We're going to reinstall the hose and the 10mm bolt that holds it on. We also replaced the O-ring on the high pressure line. Now we're gonna push it in place and install the two bolts that hold it on. And just like that, we finished the job. Now it's time to reinstall the engine cover and put some fluid in the system and bleed it out. We're gonna keep turning the steering wheel from the left to right to bleed the air out of the system and to suck all the oil. We're gonna keep filling it up until we reach the top mark and until the power steering pump quiets down. Just like that, we finished the job. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and learned a couple of stuff along the way. If you did, make sure to subscribe to our channel, like the video and leave a comment down below. See you on the next one. Peace.